Does 400 horsepower feel fast? Oh yes, it does. I can assure you that. Good morning guys, welcome back to another video. And today's video I want to talk about something I get asked quite a few times, so I thought why not make a video and talk about it. A lot of people come up to me, not people come up to me, but a lot of friends and you know, people I know, or some people even on YouTube comments and stuff like that. A lot of people wonder, they ask me, how does 400 horsepower feel? Because this car, as you know, as you may know, it's 400 horsepower now, 401 to be precise. But anyways, a lot of people wonder, they ask me, how does it feel? Does it feel, how fast does it feel? Does it feel powerful? Does it feel good? So I just want to explain to you and tell you how it feels driving this car. Now before we talk about it, I want to make it clear, a lot of people are you know, I mean, I'm sure most people know this, but not everyone knows this. It's not always about horsepower numbers to be a fast car. For example, a Maserati Gran Turismo has more horsepower than this BMW, but it's not faster. Aston Martin has more horsepower than a BMW M4, but the BMW M4 is faster. So it's not always about horsepower numbers. You can have cars with 900 horsepower, but it doesn't mean it's, well, yes, horsepower makes a big difference. It's power, but it's not the 0 to 60 times. It's not always necessarily faster with higher horsepower. Yes, of course, supercars and high fast car performance cars have high horsepower, but it's not only about that. So that's just to make it clear there. Now regarding this car, how does it feel? How does 400 horsepower feel? I must say it feels very good, because let me give you an example. Like driving now around busy, you know, main roads, even now it feels good. You know why? Because I know from experience from driving other cars, even my smart car, which I'm sure you guys have seen on other videos, or many other cars I've driven, like normal cars, not sports cars, like a regular Mercedes C-Class, for example, or 1.8, C180, you know, or C200, whatever, or any of these cars. Look, you look around, you see normal cars, and I've driven many of those cars, and even, like I say, even now when I'm driving, I'm just touching very little my throttle, tiny bit, and when I take off by a traffic light or after braking and I take off to continue, I just touch it a tiny little bit, which in so many other cars I've driven from experience, you need to put down your foot a bit harder, not a bit, quite a lot harder compared to this. So it's just like a good feeling when you know under your foot you have a nice, you got some power there, so if you need it, you have it. And you know, you don't have to rev out the car all the time, you know, just from driving. Like now I'm picking up the speed, yeah, this was such a slight touch, it was so gentle. And this is what I'm trying to say, with the Smart I would have to rev it up to 2000 to get to there, you know. So this is one thing I love about having some power into the car. Now weather like today, as you may see, it's a bit rainy and the roads are wet and greasy, and there's salt and grime and whatnot on the street. If I put my foot down all the way, guarantee the back side is going to slip, because obviously I've tried it and I know from experience. But as you know, the power just goes into the wheels, even with traction control on. It's not about taking off traction control, it just it's just powerful. Would I recommend the 400 horsepower for first time, you know, for a first car, buying a first car? No. Oops, that was a bit close. Some people don't look at the mirrors when cars are on the left side. He indicated right, he should have seen me coming. Anyways, nothing happened. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is I wouldn't recommend for a first car, or you know, for a beginner to drive a 400 horsepower, because it is quite powerful. I know nowadays cars are just going up and up in horsepower. This is an older car. I mean, not old, but this is a good few years old. Nowadays, you buy brand new cars. Look now. I touched this so slight, and look where I am. I move just like that. So nowadays, you buy a brand new car, and the newer cars are just, the horsepower is going higher and higher and higher, which is crazy, because in 10 years time probably cars will have 1,000 horsepower, supercars will have 1,000 horsepower, fast hot hatches will probably have 400-500 horsepower. I mean, even today we're near these numbers, so it's just crazy what the world is getting to. But anyways, this is really what I thought about talking about. How does it feel to have 400 horsepower under your foot? It definitely feels good. But of course also comes with responsibilities, because when you push power like that, you need to be careful, especially, you know, with sensible driving, and, you know, just being sensible, because some people, they can push heavy horsepower, but if they don't know how to control it, especially on, you know, if they lose control, put it this way, everyone can put down the foot and drive fast. That's no big deal. You just put the foot down and drive. But a lot of people do this kind of stuff, put down the foot, drive fast, and of course they're not experienced drivers, or they just don't have the experience. So if something goes wrong, if he loses traction, or, you know, if anything happens, it could end up badly. So of course it also comes with responsibility. So that's also to make sure you drive sensible. I personally, I don't put my foot on every minute because my car's got 400 horsepower. It's just that, you know, there's no point in driving crazy, especially in residential streets, you know, like this. You know, a child can just run across the road like that, and how on earth would you manage to stop? You can't. Doesn't matter what car you have. Doesn't matter if you got carbon ceramic brakes. On a residential street with the child running across suddenly in front of you while driving fast, of course, it could end up badly. So yeah, you gotta be sensible as well. I wouldn't put down my foot in a busy place with loads of people around, you know, on a quiet street, a quiet this, here and there, you know. But anyways, of course always in the speed limit. Anyway, so that's what I really thought about talking today. Oh, and also I just wanted to touch up on something. I keep on getting every single day, well, almost every single day, DM messages, you know, through Instagram, even Facebook messages, and YouTube comments every single day about the JB4 versus the tune I have now, you know, the remap. Guys, I don't mind you sending me messages. I'm more than happy to help when, you know, when I can. But people ask me the same question so many times. That's why I especially made a few videos just to answer your questions. So please, guys, just watch the video. I explain everything there from my own experience, and hopefully that will help you, because, you know, it just feels crazy to don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining or I'm not upset, because, you know, if I don't want to do it, I won't do it, you know. But it gets like, you know, oh, the same question again every single day, and it gets to a point that I can't, not that I can't be bothered replying, it's just that I'm so busy in my day, and it's hard for me to reply every single day explaining the whole situation versus the JB4 and a custom tune. So that's why I done a video about it. So guys, if you want to know, check out the video. I'm sure it will give you a lot of information I had from my experience doing them both. And yeah, I hope you guys have good luck with it. That's really more what else I can say. And if you want to see more of me, you can follow me on Instagram. I'll put my Instagram link below. If you're interested, you can follow me there. And that's really it. Now just touched a little bit, not as before, a tiny bit stronger, you know, a bit more firm, and I've got, of course, a lovely feeling, because if you don't have some power, it's going to be hard to get into the lanes, because as you know, in traffic and in general, people don't let you go in, but when you have power you don't ask them, you just go in, of course in a safe way, not in an aggressive way you just cut in someone. I don't mean that. I mean to say is if the someone is well back 10-15 meters at least, but you can see the way they're driving that they're not gonna take it, they're not gonna let another car in front of them, no. But of course they always push in. No, but you know, what I mean to say, it is good because sometimes you just want to get yourself on the road and it really helps. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give the thumbs up if you have, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And until the next video, take care and see you next time. Bye.